and she is an NSRCEL alumni. She is a founder of a very successful wellness and healthcare and a rehabilitation venture. And in just some time, we will be bringing her on to share her journey, share how she actually validated her idea early on, and how she's now been able to scale it, and what were her experiences, her learnings throughout this entire journey. But before we bring Monica on, I thought that me and my colleague Nishtita here would take the next 10-15 minutes to just take you all through um, NSRCEL, what we do, and specifically the healthcare incubation program that hopefully a lot of you would be interested to know more about, and then apply if you feel like this is something that interests all of you. My name is Gauri. I lead the healthcare incubation program here at NSRCEL along with my colleague Nishtita. So yeah, I think let's get started. I think the Q&A section is open. So in case you all have any questions, please do drop them in the Q&A section on your screens at the bottom. Either we answer them live or we will reply to them on the chat itself. We will be taking questions towards the end. I will pause in case there are any urgent questions, but once Monica's bit is done as well, we'll open it up entirely for questions both on the program as well as any questions you have for Monica just on her journey as well. So please do note your questions down. Unless they're extremely urgent, you can ask them towards the end. But yes, I think we're good to begin. So NSRCEL, as you all may know, is the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Center here at IIM Bangalore. We celebrate 25 years this year, and over these last 25 years, we have been on a mission to catalyze the entrepreneurship ecosystem just through bringing a lot of entrepreneurs like yourselves, academia, and industry together to just foster fundamental research in entrepreneurship. We have, over the last 2 decades or so, through our various programs that I will talk a little more about on the next slide, impacted and worked with over 2 lakh entrepreneurs. This is through various programs, various workshops, a lot of master classes and events, a lot of webinars like this one. Our incubated ventures, our incubated number of founders exceed 7,000, and this is across all of our early stage and scale up programs. Our entrepreneurs collectively have created more than 35,000 jobs, and the startups have a combined valuation of over 7 billion US dollars. Yeah, like I mentioned, we have a lot of things that keep happening at NSRCEL. We are very busy as an incubator, and we love to work with entrepreneurs across stages, across sectors, across fields. Our primary verticals of interest are across idea prototype, growth stage, and our 2 centers of excellence. The healthcare incubation program resides within the idea and prototype stage ventures and offerings that we have, along with Launchpad and Campus Founders, which are both sector agnostic. At the growth stage, we have Velocity, which is our sector agnostic, again, scale up program, an entire vertical dedicated to women entrepreneurship, where we have the Women Startup Program and the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Women. Monica here is an alumni of the Women Startup Program. And an entire vertical dedicated for impact ventures, both in the for-profit and non-profit space. We also have 2 centers of excellence, one in fintech, which is in collaboration with the government of Karnataka, and a climate COE as well, which covers larger fields within climate, which also include mobility, sustainability, and circular economy. So these are broadly the different programs we have at NSRCEL. You will be hearing a lot more of the healthcare program today. Our ventures, we're very proud of them, and they've gone on to do brilliant things after their programs have ended. While they're still incubated with us, they have had multiple media mentions in large-scale newspapers across the country. A bunch of them were winners at the Startup Maharati Challenge this year at the Startup Mahakumbh. We've had over 20, I think, ventures feature in Shark Tank across the 3-4 seasons. Some of the names here are Rescript, Music Pandit, Kavi, Dabble, Nima AI. So we have a bunch of ventures across sectors, across different stages, who have also gone on to do brilliant things and won awards and recognitions both nationally and internationally. So yeah, I think that's a brief of just a quick, very short overview of this NSRCEL and what we do, so you understand the larger ecosystem that you might get to be a part of if you are incubated with us. I'm going to now hand it over to Nishchita, who's going to take you all through the healthcare incubation program, which supports prototype and pre-revenue startups, hopefully like yourselves. Again, like I mentioned, if you have any burning questions, please do add them to the chat box and we will answer them either on chat or live whenever the dedicated slot comes up. But other than that, Nishchita, over to you.
Thank you, Gauri. Hello, folks. I'm Nishchita here to give a better idea of what the healthcare incubation program does. We are fairly an early program here at NSRCEL, running the second cohort and having our applications open for the third. We are funded by Daily Rounds, who are a learning platform for doctors and health care professionals and students. We have Arogya Seva, IKP, Art Park, Site Care, some of our ecosystem partners that the founders can leverage off from. To give an idea of the program in itself, it's a 5-month hybrid program. There is some of the benefits of being a part of the program is definitely the knowledge and resources, the sessions that we provide for founders. Apart from that, we have mentoring, where we have a pool of 150 plus mentors who are industry experts that the founders can leverage. There are sessions, and the sessions like value proposition, problem validation that the founders go through together early, basics right of their venture journey. Um, Speaking of who is this program for, uh, our program is mainly for prototype to pre-revenue stage ventures. We also have ventures from subsectors in healthcare, like public health, health tech, medical devices, pharma, biotech, pharma, etc. Uh, some of the and some of the focus areas are also, you know, diagnostics, creators, monitoring, etc. Uh, our impact from the healthcare incubation program, we have about 2 cohorts. Very excited to start the third one. We have incubated about 79 healthcare ventures, and we have had 4 grant winners who have won a grant of 1 crore in their incubation. And to sum up, everything that we offer on happens in the healthcare incubation program. The program is for 5 months, and this program doesn't have any fee charge as such. This program is absolutely for free. Uh, and we expect our founders who get incubated to spend about 6 to 9 hours a week on um, the learnings and sessions of the program. Uh, the pro This program is a hybrid program, but we do have a end and beginning boot camp, which happens in person here at IIM Bangalore. Uh, if you are an early stage founder where your venture is in prototype or pre-revenue stage, this program is for you. And there is a funding opportunity at the end of the program based on your performance that is given by our funding partner Daily Rounds, which is for 1 crore. Over to Gauri to introduce our speaker for today, who's Monica.
Great. Thank you so much, Nishita. Just before I think, Monica, we bring you in, there were just a tiny couple of questions that were just coming in, and I'll just quickly answer them, I think, online as well. So, in general, if you want to get, if you want to incubate yourself, if you want to apply to any of our programs, they're all application based entries into the programs. We run cohorts. We're not a open incubator which takes on applications across the year. So you will have to look at our website. So we will be sharing a QR code with the website link to know more about this program, to know more about NSRCEL programs. Each website has its own application form link attached to it. So you can just join, log in there, look at the application form, and then apply for any of the programs that you want to apply for, which have open applications there. follow us on social media across NSRCEL's platforms. Um, and any updates on new applications that are going live will again come up for you on that. And application links are usually put there. So to associate yourself with NSRCEL in general, all the process for each of the programs applications is on the website. Application links are on the website. So I think that's your one go-to that you can take. Um, in the healthcare program specifically, we um, we support everything under the healthcare gamut. So Parul, to answer your question, we do also support preventive health tech startups. So everything from prevention, diagnostics, precision medicine, curative, as well as rehab. Everything in that space gets falls under like our area of support, both from a software as well as a hardware space. So as long as you are pre-revenue and you have some proof of concept, I think you're good to apply. So yeah, I think those are two main questions that I wanted to answer. I do see a bunch more, which we will try to answer either on chat or a little bit later. But right now, I am very excited to want to bring in Monica to kind of share her journey. She has also experienced what incubation at NSRCEL could look like, not at healthcare, but in another program that does very similar support, and has been able to validate and really go on this journey that a lot of you are already on or may go on to enter soon. So, yeah, I'm very, very thrilled. Monica is, of course, the founder of Reviva. It is a venture that's dedicated to support cancer survivors through their physical rehabilitation journey. It offers comprehensive range of clinically designed products from compression garments to prosthetists to chin straps, jaw stretchers, etc., that are all tailored to the various needs of post treatment recovery. Her work truly reflects the essence of validation in healthcare. She's built products that are grounded in real patient needs, and she's proven clinical outcomes before she's scaled for larger impact. She's iterated multiple times, and it's truly a very, very inspiring journey. So, thank you so much, Monica, for one agreeing to share your journey with all of us. And I hand it over to you now to take it from here.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here today with you guys. As Gauri introduced, I am Monica Lokesh and I'm the founder of Reviva. I'm really excited to share my journey as an entrepreneur. So I come to understand all the people who have joined today are in the segment of healthcare or wellness or rehabilitation. So I think my learning and the journey that I'm going to share with you will give you some idea how to take it forward and how it will help in your own journey. So let me start begin with my own background. So in towards the end of 2019, I returned back to India from Dubai and I wanted to do something of my own. But I did not have any idea how to begin. So I was trying to figure out what to do. And meanwhile, the COVID-19 struck and we were in lockdown. After that, around 2020, towards the end of 2020, one of my friend who had undergone breast cancer surgery 2 years earlier started developing some complications, and she approached her doctor in Bangalore, where she was told that she has to live with the problem because there is no solution for the problem. So that is the time around when both of us started researching on how to, handle the problem or, how to get some help. So that is the time we realized that there are protocols available in the West where they integrate rehabilitation along with the cancer treatment. But surprisingly, in India, rehabilitation post-cancer surgery is not taken very seriously, and it is like they have a very poor quality of life post their treatment. That was the turning point of my entrepreneurial journey. That is when I decided that I want to do something in this space. I also realized that there was a white space available here, and there were a few players, but it was not organized sector, and the quality what was provided in the Indian market was not very good. Though we have best of the treatment available in India, best of the doctors with the high standard of medical infrastructure, there was nothing in the rehabilitation segment. So that is how I thought that I want to start something in that space. And I started researching more, and I started working on the protocol. So around 2022 beginning, I already had few prototypes with me, but again, I was not knowing what to do, how to proceed. So luckily, around that time, WSP was open for registration, and I applied for that, and I got selected. My venture got selected, and that's how I started my startup journey. So I will now share my PPT, which will be easy for me to actually, discuss the points I want to put across. Just a moment, please. Once again. How is it share option? Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Yeah. So today we are talking about a startup. So let's start with what is startup. Startup is we are trying to, solve a pressing problem of the society with something innovative, which is very unique. It might be technology or the business model or the product itself. So startup usually has a capacity to scale very fast, unlike the traditional businesses. So okay, so this is the startup journey. We start with the ideation phase where we build our prototype. That is when this is the stage when I joined WSP, Women Startup Program. I had my idea and I had my prototype product ready, but I did not know what to do. So I learned a new word there. First, what I learned was the validation. So we need to do the validation of the product, and we need to validate our customer before we go to the market. So validation of product, when we are talking about healthcare product, it is slightly different from the other consumer product. We have to be very sure about the safety of the product. It has to be clinically tried and tested, and it has to have, approval of the doctors. And if we can get the trust of the hospitals, it's even better. And the end user should be satisfied with the product. Basically, the job needs to be done. So product validation, I had already started going meeting the hospital and the doctors, where I had to do few iteration, which I was doing. Then I had to do the customer validation, which is the most important part of the startup journey, because if there is no customer who is ready to buy your product, then there is no business model. So in healthcare, we have to go through doctors. So I was going and meeting the doctors, and I got the validation of the products that I had the prototype. Alongside, I was also in talks with the hospitals, and it was going all fine. Then I had to give some test trial products to the doctors, where they gave it to their customers to try and use it and give me feedback whether the product was comfortable, whether it is giving good results, and all those clinical trial I did along the process. So this is, I did the customer validation and the product validation. And when I did the customer validation, I was thinking that the hospital is my customer who are going to buy my product. So I'm coming back to this slide. After that, I registered my company. We have to go the formal process. If I want to sell my product, I have to have a company. So I started formation of the company and hired a small team. And then I had to arrange the finance part, how to fund my project. I funded my own venture myself, but there are some other options for initial funding, like you can go bootstrap, you can fund your own company, you can go with friends and families support, you can collect fund from them, you can go for crowdfunding, you can get angel investor, you can get some grants, or at the worst case, you can get bank loans. So the third stage, that is the formation of company. Alongside, I also had to do the certification of the products and take the necessary documentation and other government approvals. So after this stage, I started going and meeting all the hospitals, because I was thinking that the hospitals were my customers. So I approached most of the big hospitals in Bangalore, and I did a lot of, the contract, like a yearly contract with them. And first contract I signed was with the Manipal Hospital, and I thought that is the best deal I have done, and my business will start coming from that. But in actual, after 6 months, I realized that the what I was thinking, the customer persona, what I was thinking was not right. I was not getting the expected business from the hospitals. It was like they were buying small quantity of the product, keeping in the pharmacy, but the doctors were not recommending the products to the patient to go and buy from the pharmacy. So it was not moving anywhere. So that is the time I realized I have to do the iteration, and I have to again look in the customer persona and try to figure out where I went wrong. And during this phase, I was, getting mentored at NSRCEL WSP program, where I was getting a lot of ideas and, help from the mentors, where they were helping me to identify other channels, or, the marketing, other marketing skills, which I had to incorporate with my business. So during that phase, I went online. I started selling my product in Amazon and other online platforms. That gave me a very good brand visibility, and the sales was also quite decent, and slowly started picking up. And apart from that, what I did is, after 6 months, I realized that this hospital channel is not going to get me much business. So I started focusing in other channels, and then I set up my distribution channel in different cities. So I had a distributor in Hyderabad, Visakhapatnam, Delhi, Chennai, Ahmedabad, and Kochi. So 6 to 7 distribution channel I set up, and I felt that now I am okay. Now the distributors will go and sell, and I am fine. But that also, after certain time, I realized that this distribution channel is also not giving me the revenue that I'm expecting, and moreover, it is not reaching the right, users. The end customers are not knowing about my product, and there is no push from the doctor, or there is nothing is happening that in that front. And that is the time I was also going and doing the marketing and meeting the customers myself, to understand where what was happening, and why the traction was not happening the way I was expecting. During that time, I also hired around 6 to 7 sales executive managers, sales managers with high salary, and I started making them work in the different areas. But that also was not very good model for me. Because the outflow was too high, whereas inflow was not as expected. Then that time, what I did was I identified few good sales executives and managers and offered them us a very different proposal. So what I did was I told them that I'm not going to pay you salary. Now, if you are the guy who is from Tamil Nadu market, I told him that I will give you an opportunity to grow as a business owner. So what I will do is I will support you throughout, but you will not get salary. You will have to work for your, to earn. But I will help to give you the stock. I will transfer the stock to you, and you are going to sell the product to the the hospitals and the customers who are referred by the doctors. Now, what this will do is this gave them a lot of confidence, where they felt that they are becoming a businessman, and they are also going to earn much more, because it is up to them how much they want to earn. If they work more, they are going to earn more. If they are going to work less, it is going to be less. So what we did is I transferred stock to different locations, and I told them to work on that market and go and identify the doctors and do the initial round of talking and come back and identify who is interested and who is not. So once he does that, the next month I traveled for my business partner. Meanwhile, I was having a proprietorship company. When I joined WSP, I moved to private limited company and had a partner. So me or my partner used to go to those market, and along with the guy, go to the doctors and convince the doctors and start pushing the customers to those salesperson. So this is how we developed a small market. Like the Chennai market is doing very good in this method, and we have replicated this model in Ahmedabad, Delhi, and Kerala, and it is working wonderfully. So this is the new method which I felt that it works for me, and it did work. Maybe you can try this method. Other than that, I also felt that when initial time, I knew that the protocol which we were talking about, which is incorporated with the cancer treatment in West, was not done in India. So I was very keen to have, the post-cancer protocol to be incorporated along with the cancer treatment. So I was very focused in this part, and I approached a lot of doctors, but luckily with Aster Hospital, we were able to implement this. I was able to meet Dr. Somashekhar, who was the global head of Aster Hospital, who was very interested in the proposal, and so he took it forward and applied this suggestion with the Aster Hospital, both the Aster Whitefield and Aster CMI Hospital. What they do is, when the patient is operated and just before they are discharged, they will inform us, and our sales team will immediately go with the multiple product and visit the patient at the ward and give them the right product, what is required for them. So now when you start using the right product soon after the treatment, the complication doesn't arise, so their quality of life is much better. when the complication starts and you are trying to work on the complication, it is very, very difficult. Once it comes, it is a lifetime. The patient can only manage it. They cannot reduce it. So when the rehabilitation is started alongside with the treatment, immediately after the treatment, they don't develop the complication. So that was the advantage of the the protocol followed by the hospital. So we have successfully implemented this in Astor Hospital, and we are trying to do the same thing with few more other hospitals like Kim's Hospital, which is opened recently in Bangalore. They are very interested to try the protocol along the treatment plan. So, and other like site care and few other hospitals are not doing in this method, but whenever there is a requirement, they will write the customers, they will write our number and give it to the customer, and the customer will call us, and we go and attend the customer and give the right products. So this is the second model which is working for us. And the third thing which last year we tried was we started approaching a lot of corporates. Corporate has a lot of CSR funds, and they do CSR activity towards the end of the financial year, and mostly they have been doing in women hygiene, or orphanage or old age home. This type of activities they have been doing. So we offered them something very new, and we got a very, very good response from the corporate, like a few corporate like Cytiva, Epsilon, and Go Colors. These are the corporates who came forward and did the free distribution of rehabilitation kits for breast cancer survivors for the underprivileged. So what they did is they gave us the fund, and we identified a hospital. They also wanted to do in different location. Like they told us to do in Pune. They wanted to do something in Bangalore, like different location. So we identified the hospital where the underprivileged patients are more, and we identified the stakeholders. Once we identified the stakeholders, we had to do end-to-end everything, like find the hospital, find the stakeholders, and then filter them and find out who actually needs the rehabilitation kits. It's not that you just call the patients and give it. It has to be given to the right patient so that it is utilized well. The fund is not waste. So we did that very successfully. Around 500 plus underprivileged women were given free rehabilitation kit last financial year, and they were so touched and emotional with the whole journey when they distributed the kits, and the enlightenment they saw in the patient's face. They were really touched by this, and they are all these corporates have come back and said they this year they are going to increase the fund and make it 4 times or more. So they were really, really excited about the impact they made on the patient's life. So these are the things which I have been doing in the growth phase. And throughout, I felt that if I have to take this journey on my own and try to figure out what to do, what not to do, it would have been very difficult, and I would have been lost. So because I was with the NSRCEL incubation program, I knew what to do, when to do what. There are multiple times I did the iteration, and I did a little bit of pivoting also in between. And during the whole journey, I was learning a lot of things from NSRCEL, like the lean canvas, business model canvas, then OKR, how to freeze on your value proposition, and all these things really helped me throughout my entrepreneurial journey. So I'll just take you to another slide here. Now, if we have to look at healthcare startup, it is slightly different than other consumer startup because we are talking about the regulatory and the safety standards. So you have to be very, very clear about that, and from the initial stage itself, you have to get your regulatory things sorted and a safety standard maintained. Then the regulatory requirements are status quo. There are some ABC category. You have to decide, find out which category your product falls in, and accordingly you have to apply. And there is something called MD15, MD17, which is license for devices. And if your product is orally consumed, then you have to go for FSSI. And if it is device, you have to go for something called a BIS. So now, as I mentioned during my journey, what is the most important thing as a startup founder is you have to be very agile, and you have to be ready to pivot and iterate whenever necessary. Otherwise, you will be stuck with something, and you will not know what to do. So healthcare startup challenges are the main is the regulatory compliance, then clinically tried and tested the product you have to float to the market. And because there are a lot of things which you have to sort out before your product is put in the market, the timeline usually gets little extended. That is the challenge. And because of that, your revenue also, or your break even also will be delayed. And most big challenge is the capital requirement, because you have to do multiple iteration, or the product you will be your prototype you will be changing before you have your minimum viable product. You will be spending a lot of money during that phase. So you will need to have your capital requirement sorted out. So you should have at least a runway of 2 years. Either you fund it yourself, or you take a loan, or you manage to get some grants or whatever. For me, I had got a few grants through corporates, but I was not successfully I could not successfully get any grant from the government. So main takeaway of what I had to put forward is the as a founder, you have to be very agile. You have to understand the regulatory compliance. You have to understand your customer very well, because in healthcare product, the decision maker may be different, the influencer might be different, and the user might be different. Like if you are talking about syringe, the customer is the hospital. But if I'm talking about the rehabilitation product, the customer is not hospital. Even the patient is not the customer. Maybe the husband or the children, or grandchildren, they are the decision maker, because after the surgery, they are not in the right frame of mind or state of physically capable enough to take their own decisions. So the user is very different than the customer. The paying customer is the one who pays. So that you have to figure out, which took a lot of time for me to understand. Initially, I was not able to understand, not able to figure this out. But as I went, and with the help of NSRCEL, I was able to figure out who is the customer, who is the influencer, and who is the user. And the product market fit, you have to get it right, the clinically validated products, and the customer should be ready to pay. So if I can share a small experience of mine, when I went to the market, initially the doctors gave me a very good response. After that, they put me to the physiotherapist of the hospital, like HCG hospital. They used to tell me to go and meet the physiotherapist. When I used to go and meet the physiotherapist with my products, I used to get very, very, very disappointing answer. They used to say that the patients will not pay for the product. So I used to ask them, why will the patient not pay? So they used to say that the patient have spent so much of money during the treatment that they don't have any money to spend for rehabilitation. Now we are talking about a product for 4,000 to 6,000 rupees. I used to ask them, will they not spend 6,000 rupees for the better quality of life? So this was the challenge which I had. Like, initially I felt that nobody is going to buy. Earlier I felt that everybody is going to buy. Then I felt that nobody is going to buy. But then I figured out, I started questioning them. That asked them that, okay, there are many patients who cannot pay for it. But that doesn't mean that all the patient cannot pay for it. So at least the patient who can pay for it, they should have you should give it to them so that they at least have the better quality of life. So that's how we started. And then right now, if you ask me, how am I doing, I can very confidently tell all over India, pan India, if somebody is talking about rehabilitation and they have to think about a name, they know who is Reviva. So I get customer from Gujarat, from UP, from MP, Kerala, from Mumbai. I get customers from all over India now. And not only referral customers, like a referral referred by doctors. Now I've started getting calls because now I have a website where they are able to, as soon as they search for rehabilitation product like breast prosthesis or a compression garment, my website pops up. So that's how I have started now getting more response and customers. So that is all from my side. Now I would like to tell that I did mention that before also. So the entrepreneurial journey is very, very lonely and at times very frustrating, because we are trying to do something and we feel it is going to work, and you applied, you tried, and it sometimes doesn't work. So that point of time, you need to have a community where you can discuss or share or take some idea. So for me, what happened was, during my incubation journey, I used to go and discuss with the mentors and I used to get ideas. Now I'm not there with NSRCEL anymore, but still the networking that I built during my incubation time, I still can go and discuss my problem and take ideas and, brainstorm many things. So these are the advantage of going for incubation with NSRCEL. And during your incubation journey, you will learn a lot of things which will definitely help in your own entrepreneurial journey. So that's all from my side today. Thank you very much. Any questions I can answer if they are there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Monica. I think that was very well put. You not only shared your journey, but also were able to explain very crucial process steps that are important in the process of taking and building a startup, especially to the scale and the stage at which you have. So there are a bunch of questions on chat, and I'll help you. I'll bring them up to you. But before that, I actually had a question on just because a lot of the people who have joined in today are all going to be in their early stages. Can you share a little more around just how you went around validating your customer and your problem? Because, like, why did you feel like this was a problem worth solving? And how did that initial validation for you happen? What were the steps you took, or the types, or the ways in which you actually went out? I heard you say that you went and sold to initially few customers. So it's very important for you as a founder to, of course, go and get your hands dirty. But if you can share a little more on just what was your initial method of validating that idea, that problem, and then after validating the problem, validating that, okay, this is a solution that will definitely people will pay for this problem. So yeah, just maybe a couple of other tips or
Okay.
suggestions. Yeah.
So I initially, when I started, it was like, for me, I knew that I can't reach the customers, right? Because patients are not going to trust me.
Hmm.
Patients has to come through doctors only. That I was very, very clear. Yeah, until and unless doctor tells that you have to use this product, it will help you, they are not going to believe me. So I was in touch with all the big doctors in Bangalore. So, Side Care Hospital, Apollo, Manipal, Aster, all the hospitals, I was in touch with the doctors. So when I used to visit the doctors, they used to talk all good, but then they used to forget.
Hmm.
All right. So I used to go back multiple times. And then when I had my business partner, we used to do it in rotation. Sometime he goes, sometime I go. And we used to keep going. And it went on for almost 6 months. 6 months, there was absolutely no response or nothing is happening. I was getting very few, one, two sales per day, or sometime one sale per week, or something like that. But I was very, very confident that this is going to turn around. All
Mhm.
right. During that time, I also felt that they're going to all the hospitals are not going to help me. Like I used to visit St. John's Hospital, all those some government Kidwai Hospital. I visited all those hospitals. Then I decided that going to all the hospitals are not going to work. So I started dropping a few of the hospitals and focused on the main hospitals. After that, after 6 months, then suddenly we could see that there were referrals which started coming. So basically what happened, doctor also felt that they are there, they are coming and visiting me every month at least one time, and they are very passionate. That passion was what helped. We were very, very passionate. The like some people used to call me lymphedema. Lymphedema is the condition of the swelling that comes post cancer
Hmm.
surgery.
Hmm.
So they used to call me lymphedema because I used to talk so much passionately about lymphedema. We used to teach doctors what is lymphedema. It
Hmm.
was the reverse. So then after 6 months time, we started getting, referrals because the doctors were the influencers. They used
Hmm.
to influence and say that you have this problem, go and talk to Monica or Lokesh, you will get your problem resolved.
Hmm.
So they used to call me, and initial phase, I used to visit each and every customer myself. I used to
Hmm.
take the measurement. I used to sit and listen to their stories. I used to cry with them. All those things I have done. So I used to go on Sundays. I have traveled to patients' house at 9 o'clock night. I have gone on Sundays. There was no time. Whenever they want, I was there. So
Hmm.
this really
Yeah.
helped me to understand the customer.
Hmm.
Once I started understanding the customer, it also helped me to, how do I counsel? If I have to
Hmm.
tell that you have to take this product, okay, initial phase, the doctors were there,
Hmm.
but later phase, it's how I'm going to counsel them, how I am going to tell them. That started understanding that I tell this way, they are going to believe and they are going to use it. And after some time, they used to call me and thank me, you know,
Hmm.
because they felt so good
Hmm.
that it helped. I have one patient who is doctor herself. She comes from UP, and she visits I tell that now whenever she's buying, she will say, you can dunzo it to me, but still I want to come and meet
Hmm.
you. So that's how we started. The customer validation will happen only when you talk to your customer,
Hmm.
and you will know which product they want, which product they need, and what you have to offer. So I
Got it.
think that answers what you asked.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, yeah, I think the what we also keep telling our founders is that unless you talk to your customers, talk to your stakeholders, you go down there and do it yourself, you will build in a bubble and you will never be able to find something that really works. To be able to truly understand what is it that is going to sell, you will have to really get your hands dirty in some form, and it's very inspiring to see just the amount of.
Now I have some girls who
Hmm.
are in my sales team. They go and close most of the cases.
Hmm.
But once in a while, I'll say that I'm coming with you.
Hmm.
Wow, all of a sudden,
Hmm.
because in between also you have to keep doing it. If you don't do it, again, you will lose the touch. And you are not able to train your staffs what exactly your idea and what you are thinking, what you are going to expecting to achieve. All those things you are not able to train your staff, because if you don't do that, then they don't have the emotion. Whenever
Hmm.
you are in a healthcare venture, there is more than only sales. It's not only sales, it is the impact that I make, that gives me the kick.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right? We have
Yeah.
impacted so many patients' life, maybe almost a million patients' life we have
Yeah.
impacted in last
Yeah.
4 years. So that is what gives us the satisfaction.
Understood. Wonderful. No, that's great. And thank you so much for sharing. We have a lot of questions for you on chat. So I'm
Okay.
going to try and summarize some of them
Okay.
and try and do this together so that there is enough, I mean, that we try and answer all these questions. Folks, whoever are sending in the questions, in the interest of time, we will be focusing on answering all the questions to Monica first, just so that once we're done with asking all of our questions to her, all the questions related to the program, to the incubation, to the application form, Nishita and I will take on those questions a little later, but we will focus on Monica's questions initially. Um, Monica, a couple of people wanted to understand how you validated the pricing for your products, because India is a very price sensitive market. So how did you actually validate your initial pricing models and test out what is it that will work uh,
Yeah.
for for the market? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the very difficult and
Sure.
very, very tough part actually. So initially, what I did is when I floated my viable product, I was not looking at profit. I was looking at only, acceptance. So I priced it very little above my landing, the cost, the production cost. So that is how I started. And during that phase, as I told that all the therapists or whomever I was visiting, they were telling that nobody will pay this amount, 4,000, 5,000, or even 2,000, they are not ready to pay. So that time I felt that nobody is going to pay for my product. So pricing was very, very low. But over the period, I understood that it is not the price, it is the value for the product what customer pays. So we were able to explain to them that this is, you are paying for the value of the product, not, you don't compare with a normal other garment. It is not the same garment. It's a device. It's going to work and it is supposed to reduce your swelling. So you can't compare with any other product. So what I'm trying to say is initially I kept it very low, and when market acceptance happened, and after that it was little tough. Now also I get some customers who want to rebuy the product, and they say they will quote 3 years back old price, and we say we cannot do it because I have to run the company and we have to pay salary and rent. So I can't pay that, give you at that price. So we increased the price over the years. We have increased the price in last 3 years around 3, 4 times. But now we feel that the price we are giving, it is very customers are ready to pay. There is absolutely no problem.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Monica. Hoping the folks who had questions on this that was answered. The second is a little bit around just your early finances. Like, what should a startup founder consider for the early finances? What should they keep in mind for like just funding, early funding? I think initially you mentioned something about bank loans being the worst case scenario. So someone wanted to know why you feel that is the case. So just a little bit maybe on just what helped you manage your early finances and your early funding.
Yeah. So I did not want to go for any funding initially. I actually got 2, 3 offers
Hmm.
initial part of the journey, but I
Hmm.
knew that if I am going to take funding, then my objective or my goal will be
Hmm.
averted, because I am in a different mission. I am trying to impact quality of life. I do
Hmm.
not want to focus on revenue right now. Once I do certain things right, automatically the revenue will follow. That was very clear in my mind. So I refused two, three funding, offers. After that, I was bootstrapped, and luckily in the first year itself, I was break even.
Okay.
So break even, if you are able to achieve, then you're not, having a lot of extra money, but you are breathing. So that
Mm.
was, if you are able to achieve, break even point, then you know that there is absolutely no problem. Slow and steadily you can go ahead and achieve what you expect the revenue to generate. Meanwhile, I also got grants, so that was what helped me
Yeah.
to do a few things. And I took a OD facility from my bank, which I did not want to take loan because then you are, tied up with
Mm.
repayment. So I took OD where if I have utilized the fund, I have to pay interest. Otherwise, I don't pay interest. So it was like flexible for me. So that is how I financed my venture.
Got it. Great. Um, yeah. Thank you. Okay. That was helpful. Okay, the next couple of questions are on actually your sales strategy. Um, so someone asked, what happens if the sales partner, like a salesperson, says no to being a business partner? Then what do you do? And secondly, because the mentality is that you should earn through salaries, what changes did you do when you had to like navigate when you had to convince salespeople to kind of earn on a commission basis or be a partner and not do like just a general job? So how did you navigate that initial convincing with your sales folks to try out that strategy?
Yeah, the sales, finding a right skilled manpower is very, very difficult nowadays. I do not know how it was earlier, but it is very tough
Yeah.
because many of the people come with the intention to only take the salary, and they are not
Mm.
bothered what outcome they are giving. They are only in the mode of taking. That is what has been my experience. So it's
Mm.
not that everyone are like that, but most of them are like that. So when I hired sales team, 3 months will go and they will say that I'm just figuring out, it takes 3 months to adjust, and by the time you have already paid so much of salary and there is no sales, and you start questioning, and then they don't like. So this problem was, earlier I thought if I pay low salary, that's why it is happening. Then I started paying more salary, then also there was no result. So it was not at all working out for me.
Mm.
uh, because I think the workings style has changed a lot. People are more talking about work-life balance, and they don't want to take orders, and all those things are there in the job market now. So that was a very tough thing for me. Nowadays, people want to do work where they want to do work at their own convenient time. So I was able to identify few people who were good at sales, but they have to be self-motivated. I can't be motivating the sales team every day and every
Mm.
time to get me business. So that was the thing. Then when I identified few of them and tried with the Chennai market, and it really worked well because he was also very open to the idea, and he also put in a lot of effort, and he is doing really good actually.
Mm. Mm.
So seeing him, a few more also have started the same, the same way, where they feel that they are in control of their finances, they are in control of their working hours, and they don't have to answer to me, and they have a better margin, and they are, promoted, or they are becoming a businessman.
Mm.
And I also encourage them that they need not do only my product. They can add their own product, and they can do other um, uh, products also along with that. So it is giving them more confidence that they will grow more. So that's how it has worked.
Hmm. Got it. Okay, great. Thank you. That's helpful. Secondly, okay, a couple of questions are on. So Anand asked, what do you think is the fastest way to reach maximum number of specialists in like a niche without like going to like 1,000 conferences, burning so much money to just like reach out everywhere? What was your, if you have any tips in like the fastest way that you use to generate like potential customer lists, like any CRM or any tool you use or any way to kind of just cold to reach out to a bunch of folks, and your general early GTM strategy? What was that initial GTM plan in to get to these customers initially? So I think
See,
combine.
the exhibition, I tried a lot of conferences. I participated in a lot of exhibitions. I did not get any outcome out of that.
Mm,
Because whenever you were going, doctors have come to a conference, they are more focused in their conference. They are not interested. If they are passing by, they may look at your product, but they are actually not interested. Their frame of mind is something else that time, right? And in exhibitions also, I participated, a lot of exhibitions I participated. Maybe one, two doctors I got through that, who got back to me later, or showed interest, but more or less it was not very fruitful for me.
mm,
Okay.
mm,
But what I did is, when I went to the exhibitions, I had collected the database from there, not the people who come and write in the register. I actually approached the people who organize the exhibition and the conferences. So I had always put one condition, that if I am paying for the stall, you need to share me the full database of the participants, all the doctor's number and email ID I need. So that is the condition I used to pay for the stall.
mm,
So when I had that database was very useful, because I could send bulk
mm,
messages to them.
mhm,
So that is how doctors started knowing about Reviva
mm,
more, because I could send multiple messages,
mm.
and some of them used to revert back saying that they are not interested, but most of them were okay to get the messages. So that is how it was easy for me to reach more number of doctors in one go.
Got it. Great. That's a wonderful negotiation technique. That's great. Very nice. Um, Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay, one single off question on just what do you think is, I mean, Nazia, I think, asked on what should be the size of customers for MVP to get a proper validation. Now, one I can answer from my end is this, that it depends on the kind of product you have. For a B2B enterprise, like a platform, even 5, 10 customers is enough for you to get like a validation. But if it's a D2C product like yourself, it might take much more to say that your validation has done for your MVP. What was your experience like? Like, when did you feel like your MVP was validated and you could move ahead?
See, I think around 100 customers,
Okay.
100 plus
Mm,
customers.
mm,
Yeah. So by that time, I knew that it is
mm,
accepted. They are happy.
mm. Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Perfect.
Initially, there were some used to say that this is not right, that is not right.
Mm,
So those we got it corrected. And
mm,
once we got that corrected, then there were no problem. Then we were able to even handle still people will ask, if I have yellow color, they will say I want red color. Those things goes on. But then we were able to standardize and say that this is what it is. You have
mm,
this choice only. Uh,
mm.
yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you. One very specific question. If a product is being used by counselors and psychotherapists, will it be considered clinical or non-clinical? I don't know how much you may know of this, but I'm just asking it anyway. If it is non-clinical, then what can you do to get the same recognition, um, or to show the same outcome of healing as a clinical standard when it comes to like trying to reach hospitals and things like that? So when you have a non-clinical wellness product, how can you build that same recognition for clinicality when you're selling it to a hospital or an institution? How can you show that you're still valid
Oh, see,
clinical.
rehabilitation products are not clinical products. It is, you don't have to be,
Mm,
these are not considered as clinical product. It is only when the outcome is given what is expected, then it is accepted. That's all.
mm,
So if I'm selling a breast prosthesis, I am selling the prosthesis not for the outer look of the lady. It is to balance the posture. So I can have a breast prosthesis which is very light. I can have a breast prosthesis which has a weight. So if I sell a prosthesis which is very light, it's of no use.
mm,
I'm not going to sell that. There are people who will come and say that Mereko, I want the light one. I
mm,
say no, we don't sell that because that doesn't work. Because I am trying to make sure that your body posture stays straight. Because prosthesis, the requirement is to correct the posture of the woman's body. Okay, so this is not clinically, you don't have to clean it
correct.
because it is all external things, right? So
Mm,
when you talk about prosthesis, it is that, and compression garment, they will say that मेरे को लंबा चाहिए, I want something something. We said that this is what is required, so we are going to
mm,
give you this only.
mm.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah,
Mm.
great, wonderful. Um, Two last questions, I think, and then the rest are mostly all for for the program. One is how were you able to zero in on the right co-founder? She says within your cohort, but I'm not sure whether you found your co-founder within the cohort. But just how did you find your right co-founder? Was there any framework for selecting, or just like how was that journey of finding a co-founder?
You know, a very funny part is my co-founder is my husband. So
That's
that
usually
was
the
the
case with a
easy
lot
one
of.
because he can fund me. And it is
Ah,
easy because he
yeah.
was in marketing throughout
Okay.
his life. So it was
Okay.
easy for me. I was struggling in the marketing part.
Mm.
So he also agreed.
Okay.
And so he is my co-founder.
Wonderful. But have you maybe come across through your conversations with other startups or other ventures, just on what do you think are other ways in which they could find co-founders, or why do you think that this is a right co-founder match? When do you realize it? If you have any other insights just from having been in the ecosystem, any
See,
tips?
the main thing is your wavelength has to match. Whenever you are finding a co-founder, you have to be very comfortable with that person, right?
Yeah.
You should not have even an iota of doubt that they will have a problem in the future
Yeah.
or that person will learn the business and take it over. So that should not be there. You have to be
Mm.
very confident and it has to be complementary, right? If somebody is very good at sales, the other partner should be maybe very good at technology. There should be a
Correct.
complementary skills. If it is not
Correct.
complementary skill, if it is the same skills, it may not benefit the business.
Correct.
So it has to be, you have to look at what all things that your business require and where your business is struggling. And it's always better to have a co-founder because then he will put his heart and soul instead of hiring a person who is, you don't know that person will
Yeah.
stay for 1 year or 6 months, you don't know.
Yeah.
So it is better to get a co-founder. And you also have to be, you have to be very comfortable with the person. That is the very, very important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. There were a couple of questions that came on compliances and regulatory requirements, but the folks who answered that, I think Monica has covered this already. Hers is not a clinical product; it's a rehab product. So I don't think the same regulations and compliances apply to her that medical device products, I'm assuming, do apply. But I'm sure based on your products, there will be a lot of information, like Monica mentioned, on the CDSCO website. And just generally, if you just search on, depending on whether it's a medical or a clinical product, what are certifications you require?
Absolutely. You will get all the information from Google. And
Yeah.
always better to get an agent.
Hmm.
Get an agent is always better because they will do it much faster. When you
Absolutely.
try to do yourself, you are
Yeah.
stuck somewhere, and most of the time you actually spend more than what you spend through agents.
Great, great. Um, how were you able to secure appointments for your products with hospitals? Like, how were you able to get to get that foot in the door with hospitals? Did you already have doctors who you were partnering with that kind of helped you with that entry? Was it just cold entering a hospital? What
Yeah.
were,
So
yeah,
initially it was cold calls. I remember I used to when I started, I used to go to randomly all the hospitals. Then I felt that if I am in cancer, I have to crack HCG hospital. That was in my agenda. So I used to go to HCG hospital and not get appointment with any of the doctors. So I used to stand there every day, go there and stand. And one day one person asked me that are you waiting for somebody or do you need something? So I said,
yeah,
yes, I need something, but I don't know where to get. So
yeah,
this is my problem. I am coming here, but I am not meeting the right person. So he said, come, I'll take you to the right person. He took me to the doctor, that is Dr. Gopinath. He is, the founding team.
okay,
And he actually became my mentor. Till now, when I need some help or, guidance, I go
wonderful.
back to him.
Hmm.
So he is a very, very big oncosurgeon, and through him I met Dr. Ajay, who is the founder of HCG Hospital also. But we don't do much business in HCG Hospital,
Okay,
unfortunately.
okay,
I get some referrals from Dr. Gopinath directly, but we don't do any business in HCG. Somehow it did not click.
sure.
So initially it was cold calls, and later on, what I started realizing is when few of the hospitals, because what happens is in healthcare product, the doctors, no doctor want to take that first step. They
Hmm.
don't want to try or
Hmm.
figure out. So once some doctor has started doing it and started referring, the other doctors are more comfortable. So
Hmm.
now I can go and see that Dr. Gopinath is referring me patient.
Hmm.
Now the other doctors are very comfortable referring the same, for the same product,
Hmm.
because he knows that if Dr. Gopinath is referring, that means the product is
Validated.
valid.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that helped. And later I started realizing that whenever I used to go and show my card,
Hmm.
doctor, they will stop the other medical representative, but he will immediately call.
Hmm.
That changed over a period of time
Interesting.
because I was at it and not give it up. At some point,
Hmm.
I felt that what am I doing? It's not heading anywhere. But then that scenario changed because we were at it,
Hmm.
right? Even now, if I go to a new doctor, if I flash my card, I know that he will call me. And this Aster Hospital, I told you that we cracked Aster
Hmm.
Hospital to meet Dr. Somasekhar. I was sitting in Aster Hospital, CMI hospital, till 9:30 because he was so busy. So
Hmm.
we met him at 9:30 and completed the meeting around 10:30, 11.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you have to initially do cold call,
Yeah.
but when your brand is little accepted, then slowly that do change.
Hmm. Hmm. But it does take clearly a lot of just
Lot of energy.
perseverance and a lot of just hard work and dedication, very truly, to kind of
Right.
get
Because
that going.
for me,
Yeah.
that my friend's suffering was too much.
Yeah.
So I was very, very clear that I want to change this. I want the cancer patients to have better quality of life. The objective was very, very clear for me.
Hmm.
So I do not want to give up.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I think it's what they say, right? Like you should fall in love with your problem and not the solution. And
Yes.
I think truly
Yeah.
being passionate about the problem will help solve anything, and your solution will come from
Yeah.
there. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
wonderful. And I think very related to this, and I think our last question, how do you manage to pick yourself up when times get tough? Because you are a founder like this, you're at this 24/7. You have no Sundays, you have no morning, evenings, you have no work-life balance as such
Yeah.
in that sense, unfortunately.
That
What,
is the very difficult part of a
yeah,
founder's
yeah.
life.
But what
And
what keeps you going, or what is it that helps you keep your mental health and yourself in check?
I do take breaks suddenly every 4, 5, 6 months. I
Sure.
try to take in 3 months' time, but if it doesn't allow 6 months, I will just tell my staff that I'm not reachable. So I will take at least 10 days off.
Hmm.
That helps me to get back my energy. But otherwise, because the passion, when you have passion in some work, that itself is the, fuel. So
Yeah.
that keeps me going. It's I Sometimes the customer will ask me, is it too late? Or
Mm.
when can I call you? So I tell 24 by 7, you can call me 11 o'clock and night also. I have some customers who call me from Hyderabad. I have two, three customers. I don't know why from Hyderabad. They will call me whenever they are depressed. So they will call me, बेटी कैसा
Mm.
है, बेटा कैसा है, मेरा बेटी ऐसा है. So they will talk personal things with me.
Mm.
Yeah, because she is alone, her children are abroad, she has been going through so much, and she felt so comfortable talking to me that she will call me. And now though I am, sometimes I'll tell that I'm right now busy, but whenever I'm free, I'll call you back.
Mm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I have that whenever I meet customers, I have that personal bonding. And I have, luckily, I have another sales girl who also has, learned that from me, and I have molded her to be
Great.
another
Yeah.
Monica. So
Very nice.
that's it. It's very tough. It's very tiring, sometimes mentally, physically.
Yeah.
It's very, very tiring, and you have so many things in a plate at the same time to handle.
Yeah.
You do not know which one to do first, which one to do next. This type of situation does come. So that is the time I take myself back, sit, relax for some time, and then I say, okay, I have 10 things in the, which I have to attend. Now I decide which one requires my immediate attention, which
Mm.
one I can push it for tomorrow. Uh, I do analyze that and then attend to the important things today and try to do the remaining things for the next day. Try to give a bit of work to, dedicate some work to the staff so that it is little easy on me wherever possible. So you have to keep yourself motivated until this. I know that someday this will become autopilot.
Mm.
It will
Mm.
not require for me to be there 24 by
Mm.
7.
Mm.
So until that happens, we have to push.
Mm. Wonderful. Um, Thank you so much, Monica. I think on that note, I think most of the questions, at least to you, are done.
Okay.
So I will give you the rest of your evening, hopefully, to rest, relax, or do other things.
Right.
But truly, truly, very, very big thank you to you for taking out your time, sharing your story so honestly. A lot of people in the Q&A section also just thanked you for being very honest and being very candid with your insights, because you didn't just give very textbook answers. You truly made it very personal, which was very nice to see. So thank you so much. Yeah, and I think a bunch of folks might just reach out to you on LinkedIn. So
Oh,
be
sure.
prepared for a bunch
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
LinkedIn requests coming your way after this.
Thank you, Nishita and Gauri and everyone
Yeah.
for inviting me. And all the best to all the founders who are inspiring to do something good in the healthcare segment.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Monica.
All
Thank you.
right. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye. Thank you. Um, Folks, for the rest of you, I know that there are a bunch of questions that you have on just NSR cells, questions on just the program. I will now start taking one of them at a time. One, we have the QR code for knowing more about the program up here now. So please do scan. You can also scan the other QR code to actually get access to the application for the healthcare incubation program, which applications are live right now. The deadline is the 14th of October, so in a week. So please do apply if you feel like this is a program that will help you. Monica was part of another program at NSRCEL, but the kind of support that she got is going to be very similar to the kind of support you will get across NSRCEL. All of our ventures do get very similar support when it comes to mentorship, knowledge on business fundamentals, on just access to hospitals, hopefully, and other networks as well. Um, Right. Now I'm going to take one at a time. I had a couple of questions on folks, so women who have applied to WSP or are currently part of WSP. So if you're already incubated with us at NSR Cell under any program, unfortunately, you will not be able to apply to another program at NSR Cell. So at any given point, you can only be associated with one. But if you complete a program, if you are alumni of a certain program, then you're more than welcome to apply. Um, so Pia, Anu, if you're already been selected or you're already part of the WSP program, unfortunately, you will not be able to apply to our program right now. But having said that, our applications will open up again in February, around February. So if by then your incubation is over, you do continue wanting incubation support, feel free to apply to our next cohort whenever those applications open up. Um, if you are if you have already submitted your application for the program, the team is reviewing applications currently. We do get a bunch of applications, and it's just Nishita and I who are doing all the screening ourselves. So do give us a couple of more weeks, and you should hear back from us with a revert on email on the status of your application. So if you have applied, rest assured you will hear back from us soon. Thank you for your patience, and hopefully you do hear back from us. So yeah, that's on that. We will try and mostly be uploading a recording of this webinar on the NSRCEL YouTube channel. So do wait a couple of days, maybe next week or later next week. We should be able to put the recording for this webinar on the website. So all of you asking for that, we will be doing that. So yes, that should be done. 1 minute, let's see what other questions we have. The program tentatively will start mid-November. It is a 5-month program. We are hoping to kick off by mid-November and go on till somewhere in March or April, depending on holidays, depending on other things and the timelines and anything emergent. But mid-November is the tentative start date for the program. The application deadline as of now is not going to be postponed. It all depends on the number of applications we get, the quality. You will hear closer to the date in case there is a deadline extension, but as of now, the deadline is the 14th of October. Yeah, I've answered that. We do take typically about 30 to 35 startups per cohort. Our selection rates are anywhere between 8 to 10%. So based on how many applications come in, we do have usually a cohort of 30, 35 startups that complete. Yeah. Let's see. So if you have a product, so you need to have a working product in either a prototype MVP form to be able to apply. So Shilpa, on your question on if it's in the pipeline, the the it needs to be a product that is at least in the prototype development stage or in the validation stage. If it is just an idea right now with no physical product, you will be too early for the program. So in case you do have a product that's already in prototype, then you can apply. So anyone from a prototype to an early revenue stage venture can apply. So that's on that. Funding rate of the selected startups. So all of our startups right now, we've only had 2 cohorts which started last year. Most of our startups are still in their early revenue stages. Only a few of them have started generating revenue. To my understanding, a bunch of our startups have gotten a lot of government grants. A lot of them have won the BIRAC BIG, a bunch of other investments from other incubators that they are a part of. None of them, to my understanding, have raised seed rounds or any other funds, like larger investment funds. So I can't really comment on the funding rate of the selected startups. But through the program, if your question is on what funding do we offer, Daily Rounds, which is our CSR partner, we have a grant of up to 1 crore that gets divided into 3 to 5 startups. So an average of 20 to 25 lakhs for select startups in the program. That's usually our funding or our grant amount that we offer our startups through the cohort. But that's decided for incubated ventures at the end of the program, post their participation, post the reviews that we have, the evaluations that the mentors give in based on that. So that's on the funding. Let's see. We typically get about 300, 350 applications at least. Last cohort, we had about Yeah, 350 this time also. We are hoping to get about those many, but typically we get about 350 to 400 applications for our cohorts. Yes, an EMR software product could be also eligible, Ashish. Anything in the digital health space is very much welcome to apply. So yes, very much eligible. Um, do we have non-profits? Unfortunately, we through the healthcare program, we don't really support non-profit ventures because the business model, the kind of support you require is very different for non-profits. We do have a separate impact vertical at NSRCEL. You can check out more if you scan the first QR and just navigate to the impact vertical section of our website. There is a program there that does support nonprofits. So in case you are looking for support, incubation support, and are a nonprofit, that's your one program at NSRCEL that can support. But but the healthcare program is only for for-profit ventures. Who are our mentors? We have over 100 plus mentors that are associated with NSRCEL. So it and they range from across sectors, across business functions. A lot of them come with prior entrepreneurial expertise, but a bunch of them are also just CXOs of companies that have now that are now mentoring startups as well. So it will be hard for me to tell who the mentors are. But again, if you go to our website, a bunch of our mentors, their profiles are all listed on the website, so you can check that out to know more on the kind of mentors that we work with. Daily Rounds as the company, yes, they do interact with the ventures. They're very actively involved in the selection, the reviews, and the grant selection of the ventures. So they are a very active CSR partner, and all of our incubator startups do have multiple opportunities to interact with the Daily Rounds team directly. Yes. Helping in recruiting the right talent. So we don't directly help with recruitment. All of our in-flight startups um, can post any job postings that they have through our job portal. So if you have a job requirement, we can post it on our alumni platform and our other portals, which does get the reach of all of NSRCEL's alumni and any other networks that we have. So we can help with amplifying your job postings. And we do sessions on just how do you identify and hire the right talent. But do we directly help with recruitment? No, we don't. Yeah. In the 5 months, again, you can scan more about what just happens in this 5 months in the program through the QR code here. But it's a combination of knowledge, mentorship, network access, a lot of sessions on business fundamentals. Yeah, I think primarily everything that a founder might need to get market ready and to help with commercial validation of your product. So, yeah. You provide support to get approval from government ABDM programs. Again, not directly. If we do have any contacts within the government or within this specific place where you're trying to get an approval form, we could try and connect you with someone from that team if that is within our network to help maybe fast track your approval. But we don't have any direct connections with the ABDM program to provide direct approvals. When we applied. Um, no, that's fine. If you've already applied for the program when you were in idea stage, Sagar, and now you have completed initial product validation, um, you you don't need to send an application. We will still review the application for the for the stage that you were at. Hopefully, if the team finds it interesting enough and when we get back to you, you can share your updates with us then. But even if you do send us an official mail, unfortunately, with the inbox, just we get so many emails, it might just get missed. So I can't really guarantee us being able to track your update in all honesty on through a mail. We will keep when we look at your application, I think when we review it on a case by case basis, we could consider it then. Um, yeah, I think that's primarily it. I don't see too many other broad questions. If if your venture is competing with daily rounds in terms of what you do, um, again, it'll have to be a case by case basis. This has not happened earlier. Please do apply. If you do go through to the final round of selections, which is our mentor panel, where sometimes folks from daily round sits in as well. If there is a clash of interest, it will get flagged by the team, but we'll have to consider this on a case by case basis in case it is a competing venture. Mm. Yeah, I think that's primarily it. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying back, for asking all of your questions. We do hope to see a bunch of you apply to the program. Again, write to us with any queries at the email ID mentioned here. That's healthcare@nsrcel.imba.ac.in. If you have further information you require about the program, all the FAQs that we kind of talked about here, and many more, please scan the website link as everything that you need on that. The application link is here as well. So that's, I think, more or less it. We do support only India registered startups right now. So, yes, you need to be in India. It is a virtual incubation, but we do a lot of things in person in Bangalore. A lot of events happen across the country, and startups that are registered in India are the ones that we usually support. So, yeah, that's on the last question that came in. But thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and the rest of the weekend ahead. Hoping to see a lot of applications from here. Yes. Good evening.